Joining us now, I'm delighted he's with us, Bill O'Reilly, the host of the No Spin News podcast, best-selling books, of course, most recent, Killing England. I've been dying to catch up with him. So many people, when I'm traveling on the road, say how much they miss O'Reilly and they adore him, love him, and watch and listen to him as much as they can. And I say, well, I got to catch up with him, and I'll let you know. Hey, Bill, how are you?
Laura, who named Ingram Angle? Who was that name? Who gave you that name?
Well, I'm going to answer it truthfully. Okay. You said...
Yeah.
You said you got to name your segment.
Yeah.
I said Ingram Angle. You gave me the segment, though. I'll give you that.
That might be true. Anyway, we branded it on the Factor, and you're doing very well on FNC at 10.
Thank you.
And thank you for that nice introduction. People can hear my analysis on BillO'Reilly.com. It's easy. Just punch it right on up,
easy.
And there we are.
Yeah,
but
so easy.
What we're doing this week is we're taking a little bit different approach to this Memo gate because I've basically branded it Election Gate. What it is it's all about getting Hillary Clinton into a favorable position and Donald Trump into an unfavorable position. That's ground zero. That's where you start. But I think the importance of the memo released last week was not political at all. And that's where I think most of the pundits are missing the story. This is a criminal situation. And there are 4 people who better be lawyering up pretty soon. James Comey, his assistant McCabe, Peter Strzok, one of the top FBI agents advising McCabe and Comey, and his mistress, Lisa Page, an attorney for the FBI. Those 4 people are in a zone, and you know this because you're an attorney, where a vigilant prosecutor may be able to bring criminal charges against them on a variety of subjects. I mean, there's no question that this FISA warrant to spy on Page, who you'll have on tonight, was granted under fraudulent, note the word fraudulent, circumstances. The FBI knew that what they were presenting to the judge to get the warrant to spy was not true. Comey signed off on that. He signed it, and he knew it wasn't true. You tell me, Laura.
Well, I think it's at the very least, and I have to see the actual application, but the very least, unless Nunez is just making this up, which he's obviously not, there's a material omission of fact, a key fact. And they don't get around that omission by saying, "Oh, we mentioned how it was in the application we said a political opponent was involved in the dossier, was involved in obtaining the dossier." That's not enough. I mean, that could be anyone. That could be some 2-bit person in Nebraska, for all we know. You have to say it's Hillary Clinton. You can't not put that in there. So you have to find out, when did they know Hillary paid for it? And the DNC. When did each player know that? And as far as my reporting is telling me, Bill, everybody has a case of amnesia over there at the Justice Department about when they exactly knew that Hillary and the DNC funded this.
All right. But they knew certain things about the case that they didn't tell the FISA judge who signed the warrant. We all know that to be true now. Okay?
Yep.
So the FBI went in and did not fully disclose the political ramifications of this so-called dossier. They knew that it was not true, and they knew it was given to them by a person who hated Trump. So the judge had no idea of all the political components, signs the warrant. Even though the FBI knew this information, they didn't give it to the judge. That's fraud.
Yeah, it's
all right.
To me, it's a fraud on the court. Yeah, to me, it's a fraud on the court, and I think
yes.
David Rifkin just said on our show that he said a FISA judge who really cared about this could himself, he believes, issue at the very least sanctions against the lawyers who were involved here, and could launch an investigation sua sponte. The judge could, into how this all came about. I think it goes back to Rod Rosenstein, however, being Deputy Attorney General. he's not going to I don't think, an investigation into the application. So that's where you need an outside, it's another special counsel or an independent investigator.
I agree. I think the odds of a judge taking this on are very, very low. Yep. But surely, the President of the United States should basically put out his own memo and say, we now believe that there was a fraud on the court, on the federal court. There were wiretap violations, and then a whole list of other things. They got to be specific, though, Laura.
Yep.
It's got to be very specific. This is what we believe happened. So we are now asking for another special counsel to investigate Comey, McCabe, Strzok, Page, and anyone else involved. But I'm telling you, this is where I believe that our governmental system is corrupt now. I believe that the FBI was corrupted. I don't know what the new guy is doing, but I believe that this is what I believe, all right, that there's enough evidence on the record to show the FBI was corrupted and the Justice Department knew about the FBI corruption. Loretta Lynch, Attorney General, she knew about it and did nothing. So that'll go back to the Obama administration. So I believe there's enough evidence there now. But the Trump administration's got to be very specific and very aggressive in saying, okay, we're going to get out of politics and we're going to get into criminal justice. And we need to have a special prosecutor look at A, B, C, and D. It's there. It's absolutely there.
Well, and again, if the shoe were on the other foot, and this had been a scenario where Hillary won the election, there had been a Republican administration in place prior, and these kinds of shenanigans had happened, the Democrats would have already appointed the special. I mean, they would be all over. Wait, Trump paid for this evidence about the Clinton Foundation, and now there's a special counsel on Hillary, and you know what I'm saying? They'd be going crazy on it.
Sure they would. And everybody knows that the Democratic Party is being disingenuous. Word of the day, everyone. Disingenuous in their objection to seeing what the facts are. They don't want to know the facts. And everybody knows the press that hates Trump is not going to report it accurately. But I'll tell you, once the special counsel gets involved in investigating the 4 people that we mentioned from the FBI, that's going to go back into the Hillary Clinton email investigation because it was done by the same people. It was done by the same people.
It's amazing.
And not only did they corrupt the process of getting a warrant to look at a member of the Trump campaign, but it looks like they were dishonest in presenting the facts about Hillary Clinton's situation. So this is bubbling now, but there's no pressure from the media as there was in Watergate. There is absolutely zero pressure from the national media to find out what happened. So if the Americans are going to know what happened, it's got to come from the White House, and the White House has got to stop tweeting and start issuing their own memos in a very cogent and clear way to say we need to find out what happened here. Nobody else is going to do this, all right? You got a weak Attorney General, Sessions is weak, all right? And you got a press that doesn't care. So if Trump really wants to find out about what happened, he's going to have to bang the drum for a special counsel.
Well, I think that Donald Trump sort of tweeting about little Adam Schiff, while humorous, does not get us anywhere. No. It's a waste of time. You know, I mean, I haven't talked to the president in a while, and he doesn't particularly listen to me anyway. But this is so serious. It's so serious. If you were the head of the FBI and the deputy director of the FBI committing crimes, while they're in charge of the national agency that's supposed to fight corruption, I mean, huge. And this is not speculation. I'm basing all of my analysis, as I always do on BillO'Reilly.com, on facts. The facts are there. There's probable cause. You know, I'm not a lawyer like you, but I'm sitting there going, come on, advance the story now. It's not a political story anymore. It's a criminal story. Don't you think it's cute, too, Bill, how they waited until 2 weeks before the election to drop the, this whole idea of the memo and, the wiretapping, and they wanted this to happen and I think in a certain timing to have maximum impact.
Well, what'll happen is you remember a couple of weeks ago the missing FBI memos, and then they were miraculously found within 24 hours.
Oh, yeah,
remember
the
that?
text. Mm-hmm.
Between Strzok and Page,
the text, yep.
The missing emails between the two. Okay, so within we don't have them. This is a 3-month period. We don't know what they said, and then all of a sudden, when the press, we found them. Oh, here they are. You haven't heard a word about them since. That's what goes to exactly what you're saying. Exactly what you're saying. That 3-month period where these two were doing whatever they were doing, very high up in the Hillary Clinton investigation. I want to see those emails, because that could go right into, we're not going to say this about Hillary because we want her to win, and we're going to try to say this about Trump because we want him to lose. It's speculation, and I don't like that, but let's see those 3 months of emails.
Well,
everybody's forgotten about that.
Yeah,
that's still big.
From December to May, they recovered thousands of texts. Those two are really texting a lot. They recovered thousands of texts, and I'd like to know what was in those. And I think also,
sure.
I think also, again, I'm just very suspicious of a FISA warrant based on what I've read about Carter Page and what to spy on Carter Page because he's a guy who lived over in Russia and knew a bunch of people in Russia. Well,
but that was the way in,
right? Well, of course, the conduit to Trump.
That was the way in, Laura.
They didn't care about Page. They wanted to get to Trump.
Remember when Trump said that Obama spied on him in the Trump Tower and everybody hooted in derisive laughter?
Yep.
That's what this is all about. Because they had to get inside the campaign, they being the anti-Trump people, and Page, who, the guy, I don't think he's the brightest bulb. So you'll find out tonight on your program. But, he was running around saying that he was an advisor to Putin and to the Russians. So, of course, that's going to laser right in on him. And as soon as they got this phony dossier, they got a wire on him. And I don't know whether he was in a Trump Tower or not, but the odds are that he was, at least a few times. So that's where Trump's comment came from. But again, we're going to have to start linking the dots here, because there is enough to start a very, very high-powered investigation that I think would dwarf the Mueller thing. And Mueller's got to be going crazy, because whatever he comes out with now is tainted.
Oh, no. Well, I think Bill hit it. Bill hit the nail on the head, as usual. He said, where is the curiosity on the part of the American media? They have lost any shred of credibility they had left. Bill O'Reilly, of course, the No Spin News podcast. Go to BillO'Reilly.com. Phenomenal. Great to have you on, Bill. We'll take a break. Don't go